Yo guys, what's going on? Acez here today with another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the Labs card nerf here in Escape from Tarkov. Do me a favor, make sure you're dropping a like on this one, and of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more PvE. So this has been probably the most requested video since the patch has dropped. You guys want me to talk about the Labs cards and give you my thoughts on them. And honestly, man, I think it completely ruins Labs. I think there's actually no reason to play Labs at all on PvE at this exact moment. So if you don't know what we're talking about here, we are going to be talking about the Labs cards now having uses and also having negative uses. So all you guys who have purchased Labs cards, if you have been using them, you're going to have negative uses after you use them 10 times. So if I would go to blue and I would hit blue right now, this card would disappear. It's completely gone. So when it comes to all of the cards, all of the Labs cards, they now all have uses. So two things is going to happen with this. Number one is the Labs cards are probably going to get at least a little more expensive in the short term. Any lab room that you need to really farm, like lead X's or any task items, black specifically is probably the one we're going to pick on the most. You would essentially think that the 10 of 10 uses are going to sell for a decent bit. But when it comes to all labs cards across the board, I don't really even know what's going to happen long term, because this has completely ruined all the rooms. I mean, red was already terrible, and now you're going to put uses on it? Like, it was already horrible. It's terrible. And not to mention, in red, you still need the one key to open the gate for the best loot in the room anyway. Red is terrible, and then you still need to pay more on top of that just to actually access the best loot in the room. Now, when it comes to keys like green, which is a pretty popular one because you have the chance to get some rare tech stuff in there, some of those hideout items that you need. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, I just think if they don't buff all the loot in all the rooms, that all these cards are just going to be worthless. Like I said, there is absolutely no reason to go to labs, and there was absolutely no reason to nerf these this much. 10 uses? It seems a little much to me. I mean, make them 25, make them 40. 10? That just seems absurd with the loot nerfs that are in place right now for PvE. I mean, you're going in black and getting 8 stims. If you're going to make a 10-use black card, I want to be getting 30 stims out of that room every single time. Makes absolutely no sense the way it is currently laid out. And that's why I think black will be the most expensive, because it is still going to be the best room out of all the rooms, in my opinion. But, like, I will never go in blue again. There's no reason to go in blue again. The loot's terrible. Will I ever go in green again? Probably not. 4 mil, you're paying 400k to get in green. It's not terrible, but it's not great. It's not great by any means. I will never go in red again. I will never go in violet again. I will never go in yellow again. There's just no reason to. And they have completely ruined the labs experience with this. You know, if you're going to do something like this, if you're going to nerf the cards that heavy, you need to buff the loot in equal amount. And I'm talking, you need to buff the loot like 3 to 4x what we were getting when the loot was buffed. That's what needs to be in the locked rooms. It doesn't have to be on the rest of the lab. It doesn't have to be even in some of the higher contested areas on the labs. It just needs to be behind the locked rooms. If you don't buff the loot behind the locked rooms, but you're going to nerf the hell out of the cards, it makes absolutely zero sense in my mind why you would just completely ruin the experience of all labs players. Now, it doesn't really affect me too much. I got my fix. I use my labs cards. I think this is actually a new set here because I turned my original set in for the key to salvation. I don't even know how many times I hit black, but it was way more than 19. I can assure you that. I had multiple days where I was just farming. So, you know, it is what it is, man. I don't really want to sit here and completely rant about one thing. There's a couple other things in the patch that I don't like, but overall, the patch is wonderful. The patch is so much fun, and it's a massive W. So I know you guys really wanted me to just come up here and hammer the hell out of BSG. Honestly, it's a bad decision, but so much stuff is great about this patch that I'm not really tripping about it whatsoever. And for the most part, the reason I'm going to labs now is just for PvP. It's not even for loot. There's so many better ways to make money than labs, that the key cards really shouldn't even be a concern. Like I said, black room is going to be the best room. You have the best chance for stims and letixes, ophthalmoscopes, and whatever else you might need. It's just like, you know, I'm kind of unbothered by it. So I know you guys wanted like a crazy reaction out of me, and but you know, it's just not the case. I don't really have a crazy reaction. Like I said, it's a bad decision, and that's about it. It's BSG. We got to expect a few bad decisions in a massive patch. Do me a favor, make sure you're dropping a like on this one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Sponsor the equipment description below. It's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm out.